So what does Jim Carrey really think of the Sonic movie? Let's discuss right now.
I got hot sauce in my bag, swag.
Hey there beautiful human, my name is RidersDX and welcome to my channel where today we finally got another video on the Sonic movie. Yes, I've been waiting for this. It really has just become one of my favorite topics to talk about on this channel, so yeah. But this is just a really small thing. I actually was not planning to make a video on this, but it's gotten quite a response from the Sonic community like everything does. So we're gonna make a video, we're gonna discuss the response, and we're gonna discuss my thoughts on the whole situation. But before we get into it, I'm gonna show off today's fan art. So this comes from SpongeBob Sonic 10. First of all, amazing username. That actually was a username I was thinking about, but then I went with RidersDX because. So they actually posted a video of them drawing this really cute picture of me and their avatars, both in the Sonic and SpongeBob environments, and yeah, this picture is just awesome. I love it. So if you want to check out that video, then I'll leave a link in the description box below. But thank you so much for drawing this. I really love it. You know, I know this took a lot of time, so you're a really talented guy. Keep at it. But back to the main topic at hand. So to recap, the Golden Globes happened last night and Jim Carrey was in attendance, and I think Ben Schwartz was as well, because I think I saw a tweet from him also at the ceremony. Correct me if I'm wrong. But in the opening segment, where I think the show was being hosted by Andy Samberg and Sandra Oh, correct me if I'm wrong. First of all, I love Sandra Oh. If y'all haven't seen Grey's Anatomy, then check that out because that show is the bomb. But anyway, I think they were doing their opening monologue, and during the opening monologue, it was revealed that Jim Carrey was sitting in the section where nominees were supposed to sit, but Jim Carrey wasn't nominated for an award this year, so he was sitting in the wrong section, and I think Jim Carrey was actually sitting there on purpose for the sake of the skit. So Andy Samberg and Sandra Oh called him out and was like, yeah, you have to go move to the appropriate section. But then Jim Carrey blurted out that he just got finished filming the Sonic movie, so guess he could still sit there, even though that doesn't really change anything. But then Andy Samberg let out a little bit of a low-key joke. Oh yeah, next year I'm sure you'll be nominated. He said it with like this really weird look on his face and in a bit of a weird tone, and a lot of people have been taking this as a jab at the Sonic movie. We're gonna talk about whether or not this is a legit jab and what this means in terms of how Jim Carrey feels about this movie. And by the way, this is like nothing that I'm talking about is like confirmed. This is why I didn't really want to make a video on this, because I think this is just such a small moment, and I think people are making it to be way bigger than it actually is. But then I got to thinking about it, and there's actually a lot of interesting things that I think some people could hear about, and some people just a different way of thinking of things. And that's kind of been my whole point of all these Sonic movie videos, is that people are very set on thinking of the Sonic movie in one way and nothing else. And my videos have kind of just been a different way of looking at things, you know, kind of a more positive way to look at what's been happening and just, you know, just taking in the information, not getting severely upset or crazy about what's been happening. So yeah, so let's dissect this. First of all, jokes like this are made in award ceremonies all the time, not just the Golden Globes, but any kind of award show that has hosts and that have a monologue in the beginning. This is a very common thing to happen. People are always being made fun of for whatever projects they're in or whatever work they're coming out with. I watch a lot of music award shows, for example, and whenever we have a host of the show, they always have this opening monologue, and they're always making fun of people in that beginning monologue. It doesn't matter who it is, doesn't matter what they're talking about. They're always just really light-hearted jokes that are not supposed to mean that much. So I really don't think that joke was meant as a legit stab at the movie, because first of all, Jim Carrey was involved in it, so I highly doubt Jim Carrey would be okay with actually insulting the movie in that way, and it really did not come off as that when I watched the clip. It really just seemed like a very light-hearted joke. However, I will admit that there was a low-key bit of a jab at the Sonic movie in the joke, especially the way that Andy Samberg delivered that line. You know, the way that Andy Samberg said that, yeah, I'm sure you'll be nominated. He kind of said it in a bit of a high-pitched kind of tone, and it's just said in a way that it's meant to be maybe not, you know. It's just a statement that's not meant to be taken seriously. And I think this is where people are really starting to think that this joke was a jab at the Sonic movie, but it wasn't coming from Jim Carrey. All Jim Carrey said was that he just got finished filming the Sonic movie. Like, that's that's legit all Jim Carrey said. The joke that seems to be a stab at the movie is really coming from Andy Samberg. Now, whether or not they actually wrote this skit beforehand and whether or not Jim Carrey was in on it, that's something I just don't know. I mean, chances are he probably was, because he was sitting in the wrong section, so he probably knew that there was a joke coming up, but the actual insult itself was not coming from Jim Carrey. And more than that, it didn't really feel like a true insult. It really just seemed like Andy's commentary on the whole response of the Sonic movie, because the Sonic movie has, come on, let's be honest, it's had an outrageously negative response. And it was a pop culture moment. It made Sonic so relevant in a way that he had not been in such a long time. So the fact that the Golden Globes are even commenting on it, I think is pretty good, honestly. I mean, I know it's not in the most positive limelight, but still, it's getting Sonic's name out there and it's getting him more attention at least. So he's got the attention. Whether or not the movie delivers in quality, we'll just have to see. But I don't think this was meant with any ill intent. I think the joke was just meant to be fun, but I will say that there was a bit of a negative quality to it because it was kind of made at the expense of the movie. But to be honest, it was a really easy joke to make and the movie had a really bad response. So honestly, I really think that joke was just too easy to make, and I don't blame Andy for making it, because I'm not gonna lie, it was funny. I thought it was funny. And here's the thing about my feelings on the movie in general. I've kind of come to the conclusion that I don't really care how this movie does, because Sonic is primarily a video game franchise. And if his movie bombs, then that's not going to affect the games that much. I mean, sure, people might look at Sonic as a laughingstock, but that's never really mattered that much to me. I mean, I think when I was a kid, it mattered a little bit more to me. I really wanted people to like Sonic as much as I did. But as I've gotten older, that need has kind of just disappeared. I love Sonic. I love playing Sonic games. I know Sonic's not perfect. If I wanted a stable franchise, I'd be a fan of like Mario or The Legend of Zelda, but I love Sonic because I love his gameplay style, I love the characters, I love the world, I love just how I feel when I play Sonic games. And to me, it doesn't matter what other people think of Sonic. If people want to call Sonic a laughingstock, then I'm like, go ahead, but you're missing out on something that's really great and really awesome and a bit of a roller coaster ride. And that's just why I don't particularly care about the fact that the marketing of this movie has kind of been on the jokey side and more of the meme side, and why it's not being taken as seriously as some fans might like it to be. So that's just my personal perspective. I know some people really want Sonic to be taken seriously and be that golden franchise the way that like the Nintendo series are, but to me, I don't really care. It doesn't matter to me as long as I love Sonic and as long as I'm happy to be in this franchise. That's all that matters to me. And I honestly think that if people had that same mindset, they wouldn't be getting as angry at this movie. They wouldn't be getting as angry at Sonic in general. And yeah, that's just something I really wanted to get off my chest. So that's what I make of the whole Golden Globe situation. But let's go over to Twitter right now, because I know the Sonic movie tweeted a little bit in response to what's been going on in the Golden Globes. So let's look at some of the tweets. So we have a tweet over here from the Sonic movie Twitter that says, "We see you, Robotnik," and then you have a gif of Jim Carrey. So Jim Carrey looks really awesome in this gif. I love it. And yeah, they called him Robotnik too, so I think Eggman is being called Robotnik in the movie, and I think I heard that before, but I wasn't really sure. And of course, right afterwards, we have a retweet from Ben Schwartz. So this is what made me think that Ben Schwartz was either at the Golden Globes or was watching it. I guess it wouldn't surprise me if Ben Schwartz was watching it. And then there's a meme of Sonic. I think this is Sonic, and the Sonic movie Twitter tweeted this as well. So not too much going on the Sonic movie Twitter in general, but I thought I'd just mention it because, you know, whenever the Twitter tweets something, I think people are looking at it with a magnifying glass, just thinking, when is that trailer gonna come out? When are we gonna get some actual concrete information on what this movie is gonna be like? Because all we have so far is just those two official teaser posters and that leaked image. So yeah, a lot of this movie is still shrouded in mystery and we just don't know what's going on. But I think people are taking this joke way too seriously. I mean, I will be the first to admit that there is a bit of a negative undertone in that joke that's at the expense of the movie, but it's just a joke. And it's not, honestly, the monologue probably had like 10 to 20 jokes in it, and people are not going to remember that Sonic movie joke. People are not going to remember it. In fact, I feel like most people still don't know about the movie because the trailer itself hasn't come out yet. I mean, a lot of people definitely know about it, but not the whole general public like they would if the trailer actually came out. So calm your horses. It was just a joke, and it was a funny joke too. So don't get it twisted. It was just a low-key, relaxing joke. It did have a bit of a jab at the Sonic movie, but it was a joke and it was funny. so calm down. But anyway, let me know in the comment section below what you thought about this. Did you think it was just a fun, lighthearted joke, or did you think it was a legit insult at the Sonic movie that Jim Carrey was a part of? Oh, I almost forgot. The whole title of this video is what Jim Carrey actually thinks about the movie. Oh my god, I completely forgot about that. Okay, let's talk about this really quickly because the video is getting too long. But I honestly think that Jim Carrey is proud of the movie, or at least is excited about the movie coming out, because if Jim Carrey really wasn't a big fan of the movie, that he'd want to distance himself from it as far as possible. He wouldn't mention it freely at the Golden Globes. So the fact that he's tried to promote the movie means that he believes in it, he wants to promote it, and he wants to get as many people to know about it as possible. I mean, aside from the forced interviews that he'd have to do for the movie, this was just an off-screen comment that he really didn't even have to make. He didn't have to make that comment. He could have commented about like another movie that he's filming, because I'm sure he's filming more than one movie. I don't know if that's true or not, but I'm assuming since Jim Carrey is a big Hollywood actor, I'm sure he's filming multiple movies at the same time. So he could have talked about other movies too, but he chose to talk about the Sonic movie. And I think that Jim Carrey genuinely believes in this movie or wants this movie to succeed. So that's just my speculation. We don't actually know what Jim Carrey truly thinks of this movie. He hasn't commented on any of the feedback from the fans and all that, and rightfully so. He really shouldn't have anything to do with that. But I just think that if Jim Carrey really was against the movie, he wouldn't have even made that comment. He wants to distance himself from the movie as far as possible. But okay, that's it for this video. I don't think there's anything else I want to talk about. So let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. Do you think this joke was a joke, or do you think it was a backhanded insult at the Sonic movie? And what do you think Jim Carrey's true thoughts on the movie are? Let's speculate. Let's be the Sonic fans that we are and overanalyze everything. And yeah, give this video a thumbs up if you like it. Subscribe to my channel if you like videos like these, want to see more in the future. Follow me on Twitter at RidersDX, or join my Discord server, the Spongy Garden. And yep, this is Riders, and I'm riding out.